Hello, this is Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. And I'm here once again with Ricky T. Anthony. This is going to be the first episode of our first original program, Bodybuilding Battlefield. It's the premise of the show is we're going to take a topic that we completely disagree on, and as the title says, we're gonna be battling it out. Okay, we're gonna
I'm
start.
ready.
We're
I'm
gonna
ready.
our first topic, our first show, first topic is gonna be the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. Okay, Ricky, I'm gonna let you start this, and I'm gonna jump in and beat you up on it.
Okay, you can try to beat me up on it, but I'm ready. I had my Wheaties, I did my push-ups. I'm ready for this battle.
I hope you
And
are.
the greatest
Okay.
Mr.
Enough,
Olympia of all
enough
time.
talk. Enough hype. Enough hype. Let's get to business.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. The greatest Mr. Olympia of all times is, drum roll, Lee Haney. There has never been a better Mr. Olympia. Now, I will use the analogy of Mike Tyson when he came along. He came after the Ali, Foreman, Frazier era, and it was kind of dead, but it wasn't his fault. He was extremely talented, so it was kind of dead, but he also made other great champions look like crap. So enter Lee Haney. You came off the Arnold run.
Can I interrupt you for a
Then you
second?
had
Let me interrupt you for a second.
no, hold on.
I just want to ask you a question. I want to know what criteria what do you base what criteria are you using to base your decision on as the greatest Mr.
Okay,
Olympia?
I'm I'm getting to that right now. So after the Arnold run, you had Franco win one, you had Chris Dickinson win one, you had Samir Bannout win one. Now, just like we talked with Michael Jordan with the championships, Haney won 8 straight. First Mr. Olympia to win 8 straight. That's number one.
Ronnie
Number
won
two.
1-8.
Number two. He has competed against the most former Mr. Olympias and defeated them. Wasn't his fault. They didn't show up in shape. In '83, he placed ahead of Frank Zane.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
He beat
Who
Samir Bannout. He beat Chris Dickinson. He beat Sergio Oliva on both his comebacks.
Well, Sergio Oliva was a
And,
little past. Okay,
huh?
Sergio Oliva
And,
was a little
so
past his
that's
time.
4 former Mr. Olympias he defeated. And he competed against the likes of Bertil Fox, Barry DeMay, Rich Gaspari, Mike Christian, Lee Labrada, Sean Ray. Name him, he beat him, he put him down. Robbie Robinson, another great champion. He beat him, he put him down. Mr. Olympia,
Robbie Ray,
undefeated,
but not
10
a
consecutive years.
not a
And
Mr.
4 former
Olympia.
Mr. Olympias.
Okay, but let me say this. Okay, as far as Sergio Oliva, it's clear that he was well past his prime.
Don't matter, he
Chris
stepped up.
Chris Dickinson was probably the least impressive Mr. Olympia we ever
Don't matter.
had.
He stepped up and he won an Olympia. And he placed second twice to Arnold and Franco, which were two disputed Olympias where he could have been a 3-time Mr. Olympia. So,
Okay.
so,
Uh, well, let me tell you this. I'm basing my criteria on, you can go look at a couple different things. The Some might go by the amount of wins that Mr. Olympia had.
right,
Ronnie Coleman had a pretty impressive streak also. He has 7 wins. Phil Heath is coming close. I mean, with 8 wins with Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath is coming close
right.
with 7 wins. Uh, but I would have to go on the quality of competition they faced and how dominant they were against that quality of competition. Uh,
Okay, good. Bring
I
it
don't
on.
think okay. Uh, Lee Haney, and my dismissing the fact he was a great champion, a class act by all means, but for the most part, he just outmuscled his great physique, but he outmuscled his competition. Uh, if you
Whose fault was
want,
that?
well, let me okay. Yeah, it's not his fault. Well, you know what? You can make the same argument with people who want to put Arnold Schwarzenegger as the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. But the fact of the matter is, one Mr. Olympia, he only had one opponent, Sergio Oliva. Another one, he had no opponents,
He had
and
no opponent.
except
He
for
had
his
no opponent.
'80s comeback, which was a controversial win anyway, he really had very little competition. It's not his own fault,
Okay.
but you can't.
All right. So wait a
All
minute.
right,
Stop the press. Who's your greatest? Let's get to the meat. Who's your greatest?
Dorian Yates.
Why?
Dorian Yates. First off, Dorian Yates ruled in the era that was probably the most competitive. You know, the Haney's era has some great bodybuilders, but you also Sean Ray was for just coming up. He hasn't quite matured yet in the bodybuilding game. Lee Dorian Yates, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Lerone, Chris Cormier, Nasser El Sambade, and the the monster Paul Dillette. And I'm sure I'm missing a couple over there. They refer to the 70s as the golden era, but the real golden era of bodybuilding was the 90s, and it was the most
No,
competitive
it was
era.
the 80s.
Was
It
most
was the 80s.
competitive
And I'm
was the
going to tell
most
you where you
competitive
went wrong.
era.
Now,
And
okay,
and
let's
you
go with
know, let me
championships.
tell you something.
Let's go with
Lee
championships.
Haney.
Dorian won 6. He
I
won
don't care. It
6.
doesn't matter
And
how
in
many
two
won.
of those championships, he looked like he swallowed a basketball.
He was
2%
more.
body fat, and he swallowed a basketball.
He was
Tall, 5'6",
somebody.
tall. Haney had no injuries, and he was dominant. He killed them.
Well,
Don't get me
injuries.
wrong. Kevin Lebroni, Flex Wheeler, Nasser, Sean Ray coming up. They were great champions. They were great bodybuilders. But to say that for that era, oh, that Dorian competed against better guys is saying that Barry DeMay was a shitbird. Um,
No, I'm not
uh,
saying that.
Rich Gaspari was a shitbird. Lee Brother was a shitbird. Sean Ray was a shitbird.
Well,
Bernal Fox was a shitbird. All these guys were nothing.
let me tell you something. You know what? You're talking about Lee Haney's era. Lee Labrada.
And
He,
Haney beat Dorian.
but let me
Haney beat Dorian. He beat Dorian.
wait a second. Lee Labrada has never beaten Dorian. He has never beaten
I
Dorian.
said Haney beat Dorian. Haney
Okay.
beat Dorian.
Yes. Wait. Hold a second. You know, you cutting me off. You cutting me off. Let me finish where I was going with this. Take Lee.
Go ahead.
Well, like I said, Lee Haney totally outmuscled these people. Take Lee Labrada for example. Physique wise, I think Lee Labrada had Lee Haney. Lee Haney, I think, outmuscled him by about, in height and weight, about 30 pounds of muscle. If you just try to picture uh, Lee Labrada, a few inches
Now,
tall.
LeBron had a beautiful
Put him,
physique. I love his
make
physique.
him,
I admire his
make him a
physique.
few
I'll give
inches.
him that.
Wait a second. Let me finish this. I gave you time in the beginning. Let me finish this. You put him a few inches taller. You put him a few inches taller. 30, 35 pounds more weight. Match him size and weight with Haney holding the same type of physique he has. I don't think Haney would have beaten him at that point. Lee
If,
Haney.
woulda, coulda, shoulda. But Haney, the three smallest waistlines in bodybuilding history for guys their size was Brian Buchanan with a 27-inch waistline, Sergio Oliva with a 29-inch waistline, and Haney with a 30-inch waistline.
Now you take
and those swollen muscle bellies. So if you're saying let's blow Lee Labrada up, would Lee Labrada have a 30-inch waistline or a 32-inch waistline?
I'm talking. You bring him up. You bring him up proportionally wise.
But let's deal with what we had on the floor.
You bring him up. You bring him up proportionally wise. You bring him up proportionally wise to match the size of Lee Haney. Lee Labrada, physique wise, has. I think he has him. He had a better
Lee Labrada had a small waist, but what I'm saying proportionately, if you bring him up 30 pounds, would his waist have been as small? We don't know. That's why we're speculating right now.
You're not hearing what I'm saying.
With what we have on the floor.
If we bring him up proportionally wise, we bring up the whole body proportionally wise, physique wise, Lee Labrada has him. You know what? I'll tell you something. And Dorian Yates should not, with his genetics, Dorian Yates should not have been successful as he was. Dorian Yates did not have great genetics by any means. What Dorian Yates had was...
He was a hard worker.
He had a work ethic unparalleled by any. Even Ronnie Coleman, as hard as Ronnie Coleman trained, I do not think Ronnie Coleman matched what Dorian brought into the gym.
Agreed.
It was either I'm getting this last damn rep out or I'm going to die. It was one or the other.
Right.
Lee Haney even said after beating Dorian in 91 was Lee Haney's last victory, last competition. After beating Dorian, he even said, I don't want no part of this monster. His own words, he didn't want no part of this monster. He saw the writing on the wall.
He also said after the 85 Olympia, when they asked him how many he's going to go for, he said, I'm going to go for 8 and retire. So, I mean, he could have said it jokingly, sparingly, making jest or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, yes, Dorian was in shape for things to come, but it is what it is. Haney has 8. He has faced great champions. He has a small waistline. He has that floater's physique. He is, in my opinion, the greatest Mr. Olympia of all time. And he has faced the most former Mr. Olympia.
I think Dorian faced a better quality. Not to say that Haney didn't face top opposition. I think Dorian faced a better quality of opposition, and he was more. I think he was more dominating.
How many former Olympians did Dorian beat? How many former Olympians did Dorian beat?
That's irrelevant.
None.
That's irrelevant.
So, all right.
Put it this way: if Dorian Yates, first off, during Dorian Yates's reign, going into every one of those competitions, every one of those people that I named potentially could have won. They had a great enough physique to potentially win. He definitely
just like Haney's era.
No,
Mike Christian,
there was no way.
Sean Ray, Rich Gaspari, Barry DeMay. Come on.
He totally out-muscled. Totally out-muscled Sean Ray, Lee Labrada, Rich Gaspari. He brought outstanding. He brought
reigning, defending Mr. Olympia in his prime.
Rich Gaspari brought tremendous conditioning, but he definitely wasn't pretty to look at. I mean, granted, he was one of the best conditioned people on stage.
Really?
But when it comes down to it, conditioning isn't everything.
I'm going to call Rich. I'm going to call Rich after this conversation, and I'm going to tell him what you said.
Berto Fox, was massive, but he didn't bring the type of conditioning needed. I mean, he got jobbed one time with a fifth place spot, and when he walked off stage, I don't think he should have walked off
Yeah.
stage. I agree, he got jobbed, but all in all, he was massive, but he didn't bring the type of conditioning. And then, let me tell you something. As good as Lee Haney was, as good as conditioning was, Dorian Yates, at his best, I don't think there was any Mr. Olympia that brought the type of conditioning Dorian Yates brought. Dorian Yates literally looked like he was a statue, chiseled statue, come to life. You turned around
Okay.
from the back, he
I
was
will say this.
chiseled to the bone.
I will say this. To me, Ronnie Coleman, 98, 99 would have beaten Dorian. But with that said, let me go
He
to my
outmassed
top
him.
five
That's it.
Mr. Olympias of all time. And I'll go through why. Number one, Lee Haney. You already know why. I gave you all the criteria with Lee Haney. We ain't gonna go over that again. Number two would have to be Ronnie. Even though he had some controversial wins, he won 8. He was a beast. His physique was awesome. He competed against a lot of great champions. Defeated a lot of great champions.
A little past their prime.
Nah.
When he faced Lavone, granted, Ronnie was older than him, but Ronnie progressed at a different rate. He reached his prime
Right.
at a
Yeah,
different age.
he was incredible.
Kevin
number
Lavone,
three-
Sean
number
Ray,
three-
Flex Wheeler. They were. Oh, I forgot to mention Flex Wheeler when I was talking about Doreen. Yes, also throw him into the mix.
No, you mentioned him.
Wheeler, Cormier, Lavone, Sean Ray. When they were
mentioned
facing
them, yes.
Coleman as champion, they were past their best days. They were past their best days.
Nah, not against Ronnie. They weren't past their best days. They were still in their prime.
Their best days
But be that as it may,
were against
I would give Haney number one, Ronnie number 2. By default, because it's on the books, begrudgingly, Arnold number 3. Because he has 7. We know that a couple of Olympians, he was the only one on stage for the heavyweights. No one else competed because Sergio was banned, and this guy was banned, and that guy was banned.
Okay.
And we know the 1980 Olympia. But Arnold, for who he was, what he was, give him his props. I'll begrudgingly put him in 3rd. And if I have to flip 3rd and 4th, it would be him and Dorian. Because Dorian was a dominant champion. He took the least genetics, least potential, and did the most with it. And he won 6 straight. Yes, Nasser, they say, should have beaten him in, 97. They say Sean Ray should have beaten him in 96.
Shoulda,
But
coulda,
it's on the
woulda.
books, and, it is what it is. So that's my number 1, Haney. Number 2, Ronnie. Number 3, Arnold. Number 4, Dorian. And number 5 right now would be Phil Heath. Now, here's the question. Should Phil Heath get an 8th Olympia? Where would he rank?
Right. First off, quickly, let me go into Phil Heath, then I'll run down my list. Phil Heath, best years were 11 and when he won first Olympia, 11 and 12. 13, Kai pushed him. Maybe he edged out Kai. 14, I would give that to Kai. I think Kai pushed him past his limit and took him. 15, let me tell you something. He was accused with his bubble gut, so he made a point to come out in 15. He wanted to show how flat his gut was. He was also as flat as hell. Dexter Jackson should have taken 15, 2015. I'll give Phil Heath credit. He came back in 2016. He looked better. Didn't quite match 11 and 12. 17, I think, as we discussed before, I think Bonac should have taken it. Phil Heath, great genetics. He's great bodybuilder. I'm not going to deny that, but I think too many of his victories were questionable, and he didn't have face the type of competition that. Hey, I'll agree with you. Haney uh, went up against a better competition than Heath, and Coleman did also, and so did Dorian. But let me go back. Let me go
Well,
back to.
then again, you got to measure that. You got to put it in context and measure with the time. Because saying that, okay, Dorian went up against great competition. Haney went up against great competition. Um, Ronnie went up against great competition. So to say that Phil Heath isn't going up against great competition is saying that Bonac isn't all that, Ruley isn't all that, Dexter isn't all that, Big Ramy isn't all that, Kai Green wasn't all
Okay,
that.
let me tell you something.
So
Kai
today,
Green was
the thing. Hold on one second. The thing with the competition today, like when you made a good point when Haney blew everybody out and Dorian blew everybody out. It was different. But now the guys are so close.
But Dorian wasn't that much bigger than the guys as Haney was. Yeah, Dorian outmassed him a bit, but not the same way Haney did. And as far as
Right.
Phil Heath, you mentioned, yeah, Kai Green, a great competitor, and Kai Green should have won him. Dexter Jackson should have regained the title against Heath, and I think Bonac should have beat him. Let me get to my. Let's start to try to wrap
Yeah,
this
who's
up.
your top five?
Okay, top five. I already said it. Dorian Yates. I think
Number one.
I think he went up against a better quality of competition. I think he was more dominant. 2 and 3
Okay.
is a toss up for me, and it's not because they tied each other in amount of wins. It's simply because both of them have strong points that I can argue towards. So 2 and 3 is a toss up. You can go either way. Ronnie Coleman or Lee Haney. Excuse me.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Let me get number four.
I'm dry.
Who's number four?
Okay, number 4. You might fight me on this one, but we can fight on another show with this one. Number 4, I'm putting Jay Cutler, and the reason is he should have, and the reason is he should have had a title from Ronnie when Ronnie was still at the top, being very dominant. Jay Cutler was robbed. He won the prejudging, and he lost. And he never seen him.
But wait a minute.
Wait, let me
Victor
finish.
Martinez was robbed.
You gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish this. I let you go through your top. Let me go through my top. All right. So like Jay Cutler, I told you he should have beaten Ronnie Coleman in 2001. He won. He was beating him on points in the prejudging, and he was robbed in the posing round. Jay Cutler was the only Mr. Olympia who actually lost and regained his title. Jay Cutler, number 4. I'm going to put Phil Heath, number 5. And I'm going to give you one more. Arnold Schwarzenegger, number 6. People are going to hate me for that one. I'm not. Arnold Schwarzenegger, like I said, by no fault of his own, he didn't face the good enough competition. He won one Mr. Olympia, being the only competitor. He won the other one, against one competitor. I'm not going to deny his contribution, what he's done for the sport. He's one who brought it to the limelight. But
okay, but
as far as great Mr. Olympia is, he ranks number 6.
To your thing with Jay, I mean, everyone knows that Victor Martinez should have beaten him that one time.
Okay.
So
yeah.
If we go with the coulda, woulda, shouldas, if we go with the coulda, woulda, shouldas, we can do that. But
Two,
if we go with what's on the table, they
2001,
wouldn't even be in the top 5 or top
2001,
6.
2001 Jay Cutler, 2009 Jay Cutler could have stood toe to toe with anybody in the history of body, would have beaten most people in the history of bodybuilding, and would have given anybody, any our your top picks a run for their money, if not more.
Would have, could have, would have,
Okay.
should have. What's on the table?
Okay, let's call Ricky T. Anthony has Lee Haney as his top greatest Mr. Olympia of all time.
Haney, Coleman,
Yours truly, Michael Diamond.
Dorian, and Phil Heath.
Let me wrap this up. Ricky T. Anthony has Lee Haney as his all-time greatest Mr. Olympia. Yours truly, Michael Diamond, as Dorian Yates. I'm sure everybody out there has their own opinion. I hope you enjoyed the first of what I hope to be many episodes of Bodybuilding Battlefield. This is Michael Diamond, Ricky T. Anthony, signing out from Muscle Central. If you like this video, please click like, share, and by all means subscribe. Once again, signing out from Muscle Central. Have a good night, everybody.